Hi, this is MarqueeCrew. Thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. A little no YouTube fact. Every time you press the subscribe button, an angel gets its wings. Back to the macro lesson for today. That's ensure fields. And I'm glad you've come to check this macro out. It is very useful in making sure that columns that you want to appear actually do appear in your data. So if you're running, say, a sample of a few thousand records through your workflow and you've gone through a crosstab, you might not get to the data that would cause columns to appear in your data. That's one use case for this. Another might be that you want to make sure that the days appear in a specific order. In this example that I'm going to walk you through, we've got some sample data that we're running through a macro and we're missing days of the week. So what we're going to do to configure the macro is to list the fields that we want in the order that we want to see them. And if they're not present, they'll appear at the end of the record. So I'm going to come on and jump over to Alteryx and show you a macro that was built. And what we're doing is we're choosing some data, and we're going to choose Candy Palooza for this example, and we're going to run the workflow. We get 9 records out of the macro, and we see store name is Candy Palooza, and we see data for Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. What happened to Tuesday and Thursday? Well, let's open that macro and see what happened. There's no data for it. And inside the macro, I've right-clicked, and now I'm going to open the macro Ensure Fields. And in this Ensure Fields, it just happens to be called Ensure Fields. This is not the macro. We can take a look at that. It's right here. This is the Ensure Fields macro. We're filtering on whatever the drop-down was, and we're cross-tabbing the data. And I've got a detour in here where I'm just letting the data flow through the process. This detour is configured detour to the right, so it's avoiding that Ensure Fields macro. So I'm going to change the macro to cause it to come into my Ensure Fields macro, where here I've added every field possible. So I've got store name, product, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. If I wanted to, I could say, here's YouTube as just another field, and just add that in that easily. And I'm going to File, Save this macro. When I do that, my workflow is going to let me know that the macro has changed. I'm now going to run the workflow, and as expected, I've got the other days of the week, and I've got the YouTube column just as well. I hope that this macro is something that you'll find useful. Again, it doesn't have to exist within a macro. This is useful just to make sure that as you've added columns, subtracted columns, reorganized columns, that at the very end of your workflow, you can make sure that everything comes out in the data order that your customer or client requires. Well, have a great day, and let's see if we can give some wings away and get some subscriptions. Thank you.